where the orange juice flows like water and the crazies come in swarms. I'm your host, Kino,
And I'm Ash.
here to deliver to you the local news here from the good old state of Florida. So it's almost Halloween in, I think, how many days?
I lost count.
8 days. Yeah, I'm super excited myself. Not really doing anything though, unfortunately. Just probably giving out candy to kids, but
I don't know. It happens to be on a Monday. I work that day. I am going to see a live version of Rocky Horror Picture Show
oh my god,
on Friday.
yes.
Let's do the time warp
Don't
again.
forget. I actually didn't get to see
The
the
Fox
yeah, with what the hell is her name?
Fox.
Yeah, Lorena Cox. I didn't
I
get to
saw.
see that.
I remember to record it, but I haven't seen it fully. And I saw like the whole scene at the end with them on the stage.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, music's fine. The costumes look good. That's as about as far as I can say.
Mm,
I want to see the whole thing before I give my honest opinion.
true, true.
But as for giving out candy, there's not a lot of kids in my neighborhood. I mean, we've got we've got new families coming in, so that might change. But overall, we've never really had that many kids.
I live in an apartment complex with a bunch of kids, so
Yay!
yeah,
Hope you have enough.
hopefully. Oh, there's a 2 for $6 in Dixie, so we're good.
It's just stock up,
Yeah, and
and
you get
whatever doesn't get eaten gets saved.
exactly, and you get 25 cents in fuel perks. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Um. So Halloween means a lot of fun stuff, and all the big Florida parks have their own events,
yeah,
month-long events.
they're on little Halloween themed events and all that.
I mean, you've got your the most popular Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios,
Yep,
and been going on for what, 20
26.
years? Wow.
Yep.
And then Disney has its Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween.
I think that's fucking cute.
I
That's
love
just
that.
adorable.
I want to now go just to see it because it sounds so adorable,
Mm-hmm.
and I love Disney. Um, I also happen to love The Nightmare Before Christmas, so you know that that's like nothing but Nightmare Before Christmas. Busch Gardens has their Hallow Scream, which I've heard about, but I know nothing about.
Me either.
I
That's
mean,
us.
no offense, Busch Gardens is a fun park, but all it is roller coasters,
Yeah.
and I'm not a big fan of roller coasters.
And
So
then also SeaWorld has Halloween Spooktacular, but again, that's one of those where I'm just like, it has it, but I don't know nothing about it.
we have to fix that.
Yeah, soon.
Yeah, we can't be a Florida podcast if we don't know about some of the big stuff.
Well, that's okay. Like the other day, or 2 weeks ago, I just went to Universal for the first time. So, yay me!
Oh, wow.
It was fun. As fuck.
Oh, did you do both parks or just
Both parks.
yeah? It's kind of hard to do both parks in one day, but it's doable.
Yeah, it is. Especially when you can skip lines.
Oh yeah. Well, no, because the um Universal Studios doesn't really have the fast pass like Disney has, but what they do have is that you can go through the full line if you want to stay with your party, or you can go. Some rides have the option of single rider mode, which means that it breaks the party up, but you go through it faster because basically the single rider line is for those who have like one or two people in their party, but and then some parties have like four or five people, and the ride needs to be filled. So they're like, okay, this has one seat ready. You in there.
Oh no, they have fast. The Universal has fast pass. The only reason we got to skip a lot of the lines though was because my friend actually worked there.
Oh, that's lucky.
Yeah. So I got to go on all. I think they have 2, 3 rides on the Hogwarts one. I can't remember, but I got to skip all the lines.
Well, there's two main ones. There's the one in Gringotts, which is on the Universal Studios,
Mm-hmm.
and there's the one in Islands of Adventures, which is Escape from Hogwarts.
Yeah, that's both of them. Yeah.
The third ride that I know of is the Ride of the Hippogriff and the dueling, what used to be Dueling Dragons.
Uh,
So there's
either either way, it was fucking fun. And like I said, when we skipped the line the first time, I was really confused. I was like, "What are we doing?" And he goes, "Come on, we're skipping." And I was like, "What? What? What?" He goes, "Yeah, come on." I was like, "Okay." And then like the third time, I was like, forget it, let's go."
um I did the Men in Black ride for the first time
That was fun.
earlier this year because when I went to Universal Studios the first time I went there, it was still the Back to the Future ride,
Oh yeah.
which I don't remember too much about it. I'm sad. It's sad to say I don't remember too much about it.
Yeah, but
But but it was like that Star Wars one in MGM Studios where you sit and the seat moves.
oh yeah.
That's all I remember about it. The Men in Black one is like the Buzz Lightyear ride though. That's fun. You
Yeah,
just
that is fun. I liked that one.
pew 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 pew. um,
Dude, the ET ride though was like creepy as fuck. I was like, get me off this
I
thing.
oh my god, I did the ET ride for the first time recently as well because again, every time I went to Universal, it happened to always be under construction. Like they were always renovating it. I'm like, I wanted to get I went with family and I wanted to get my cousins on the Spider-Man ride because I knew especially the boy would love it.
Mhm.
But when we checked the ride times, it was like an hour and a half wait. And I don't think they had the single rider option. Yeah, I was like, "No, I'm not waiting an hour and a half for this. Not worth it." Um,
Yeah.
but yeah,
It was, like I said, me going to Universal for the first time and being living here for so long is kind of like exciting, but also kind of like really sad. And like I said, still never been to Disney World. So actually, I should say I've never been to uh, Magical Kingdom Disney World. Like I've been to Epcot, but I've never been to Magical Kingdom or MGM Studios
I
or
I thought you went with Bro when he came to
no, we
town.
went to Downtown Disney.
Oh, which is now Disney Springs.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Next time we meet, we're doing all four parks.
Awesome.
We need to get a long weekend though, because yeah.
Well, being in the Halloween spirit now, we're gonna,
No,
of course.
we don't really have news to say, other than enjoy your Halloween and be safe.
Yeah, just be safe. God
Um,
damn it.
it's been a really, really crazy month. I've had like two tests. We had the what is it, Matthew? Matthew came around and had a little fun with us.
Yeah, and it's ironic too because of our last podcast.
We were talking about how there have been no hurricanes
Yeah,
since
and then
Wilma.
yeah,
And then Matthew's like, "Hi guys, I'm gonna go to Disney
I'm
World."
going to January. Oh man, that was. I'm glad people are okay though, but the flooding in St. Augustine was like ridiculous. I was like, oh my god.
And then we have family friends who live up there, and my mom was like the day after calling them, "Are you guys okay? Are you guys okay? I heard, I saw the pictures," and they're like, oddly enough, we were fine. And they're like, it's mom's like, "Oh thank God."
Yeah. Oh, they took and Matthew also took half of the Jacksonville beer. Just gone, just completely just gone. I was like,
Yeah,
holy
hurricanes do
shit.
that. Hurricanes do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for you. for you guys it was a little worse because for us it was just like wind and maybe rain.
Yeah. Mostly along the coast though, because because I live so inland, we didn't get very much. Like we got wind and rain, and that was it. But Jacksonville Beach and St. Augustine and anything coastal was pretty much like fucked.
Yeah, he stuck to the coast.
Yeah.
He didn't go to Disney. He changed his mind. He
Like,
wanted to visit
nah.
the beaches.
Speaking of beaches, I got some haunting places. Good segue. Anyway.
Yes, we can't have a Halloween episode without talking about some haunted locations. And Florida surprisingly has a fair amount.
Mm.
So the first place we're going to talk about is the Jacksonville Beach Lifeguard Station.
Yep. Which apparently, let me find my article and my little tiny article here. There's not much information about it, but it says the building dates back to the war. Although the principle of lifeguard saving in the locality dates back to the turn of the 20th century. The lifeguard station was used to treat patients of ocean-related accidents and is rumored to be haunted by a ghostly drowned victim and lifesaver known as Todd. I fucking hate you, Robert. Just so you know, if you ever listen to this, Robert, I fucking hate how loud you are. Anyway, that's my roommate. Anyway, and there's also another little article on haunted places in Florida. Jacksonville Beach Lifeguard Station. Now the home of the lifeguard station, this location is served as a makeshift hospital. On occasion, drowning victims have likely died here, and the spirits of some have seen walking through the doors. During one paranormal recording, a spirit reportedly stated that drowning kills people. That sounds really fucking cheesy. Oh yeah.
Johnny kills people.
And drowning kills people.
Oh,
Like no shit.
okay. The next location we're gonna visit is Brooksville, Florida, the May Stringer House. This is a four-story home perched on top of a hill overlooking the city of Brooksville. It contains over 11,000 artifacts, throughout which items from the American Civil War to the Vietnam War exist. The house also includes the doctor's office with vintage medical items, kitchen, other living areas with antique household items, and the schoolroom, which replicates an old one-room schoolhouse. This is actually listed in the National Register of Historic Places in the state of Florida and in U.S. The home was constructed in 1855 by John L. May, and he built the home, and at that time it was only 4 rooms. He lived there with his wife and 2 daughters. He died, but his wife lived on throughout the Civil War and actually married a Confederate hero, Jackson, where she gave birth to a little girl named Jessie May, but she died in childbirth. 3 years later, Jessie May also died. So there's 4 people buried on the property. The guy who built it, his wife, her daughter from another husband, yay, and apparently an infant son. And they are supposedly what makes this house haunted. After the wife died, Frank sold the home and it made its way to Dr. Sheldon Stringer. Yay. That's where the May Stringer house came from. He added 10 rooms to the house and actually had his practice there. Well, he his wife and 3 children lived in the house, and he also worked in the house. So yeah, that apparently there's whatever victims of illnesses are now in that house too. The Stringers, that house kind of got passed down to owner to owner until 1980, where it became part of the Hernando Historical Museum Association. Um, According to one of the docents who worked there, weird things started happening the moment they started renovating the place for the museum. Um, they've mentioned cold spots, mists, eerie eerie shadows, the sounds of children's laughter, uh, moving shadows, glowing orbs of light, wailing children, um, and it's actually a very popular spot for paranormal investigations. For $200, you can stay from 8:30 p.m. to 2 o'clock a.m. to record your own investigation. They actually have it on on their own website. They do ghost tours, and for $200, you can do your own ghost investigation. Sounds like actually a lot of fun. Might just do the ghost tour though.
I was gonna say not for $200 to stay up till fucking 2 o'clock in the morning.
Dude, I'll pass out by 12.
Yeah,
Can't
really. Then the eerie shit starts at 2. God damn it.
Yeah, the individual tour is about 20 hours and it's only from 8 to 10. So, but but even if you do the individual tours, you are allowed to bring your own handheld devices such as digital recording and EMF meters.
Nice.
Uh, Basically anything you can hold in your hand is fine.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So that's the mainstream account.
Up next is the Florida Theater, which I couldn't find much about, but I do know there is an article about it here, but I'm not reading the whole thing because it's mostly dialogue, and it just says something about the spirit that lives in the Florida Theater. His name is Jay or Doc Crowther, depending on who's telling the tale. Let me read. Yeah, he's not really that interesting. It's more just like they're saying that they just had a run-in with him and he was speaking to them and blah blah blah. And apparently Elvis Presley performed in this historical theater in 1956, and although it closed in 1990, it reopened in 1983. Reports say a strange, unexpected humming noise has been noted in the building, and at least one a pro, pro apparition has been caught on camera, standing in the balcony, seat E2, section 500, waving.
But okay,
Hi, how you doing?
I'm sorry, but this requires the Phantom of the Operas. I am sorry. Every time they mention ghosts in a theater, I immediately think of that, even though it's com- completely not a ghost. I've
Yeah,
actually been to that theater the book is based off of.
nice.
Yeah, very pretty.
But they also had back in July, apparently, at the Florida Theater. It said the Florida Theater Paranormal After Hour Tour. Join Steve, Pamela, and Amy and other members of the local haunts as they guide you through a paranormal investigation of the notorious haunted Florida Theater. In 2010, the local haunts captured a holy grail of paranormal evidence at the Florida Theater. A full-body apparition on video, sci-fi fact or fake, tried to disprove the video without success, and in fact found evidence of their own to support the video. Ooh, fancy. And then there's like a whole thing about how the whole thing will go down, and then it was at 11 p.m. at $39.50, but it's back in July, which has already passed. But that's pretty cool though that even a notable you know television program did it or had their own investigation about it, which is pretty fucking cool.
Mm. Oh, you want to no, just hold on.
Hmm.
The whole clown thing, the whole clown scare. Yeah, well, guess what? Apparently, when it started in Florida. And it started in Jacksonville of all places.
Oh yeah, that was back in. No, yeah, it was Jackson.
That was
Some
the first
people say
one.
it was Jacksonville, Florida, but some people also say it was Jacksonville, South Carolina, or North Carolina, or whatever. It was one of the Carolinas or Jacksonville, Florida. I can't remember which one
Well,
exactly.
when I saw the videos, the houses looked more like they came from Carolina. The porches don't look like anything you would find in Florida.
No, got
Because no offense, the only houses that have wooden porches are not in cities. They're out in the fucking country.
no.
Because guess what? Guess what Florida has when it comes to wood? Fucking termites.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, the whole clown thing started in fucking California. But actually, yeah, now that I'm seeing it, News 4 Jax actually has, uh, back in 2014, a clown.
The
Um,
first wave.
yeah,
The first wave.
yeah. But
Wood.
no, they have porches like that downtown or down in most of the South, um, mostly in middle to South Florida.
Yeah,
Those
but the
kind of
thing,
porches.
yeah, because that's kind of like the antebellum,
Yeah,
the southern.
yeah.
It's just that you, okay, at least in Miami, we hardly
It's
have
being called a
wooden
creepy craze in
porches
California.
because of one, that's just not part of the code, like the building code,
Hmm.
and two, freaking termites, man,
Mm-hmm.
freaking termites. We'll have wood in our roofs, but God forbid we have wooden floors. Or, I mean,
Springfield.
we do Springfield.
Yeah, that's where the sightings are apparently.
Well, it was like the first wave was very small. It was very small.
Yeah.
This wave, this most recent one, is like
This is getting.
nation.
Yeah. Like, this is getting fucking ridiculous.
Of course, granted, I'm kind of laughing my ass off because it's just, it is fucking ridiculous.
It is. And there's videos about how um, people like run away and shit. I'm like, you do realize this is the person in a mask. Like, run. If they're threatening you in your car, like in your car, and
Your
they feel
what?
threatened, run their
Just
fucking
run
ass
towards them.
over. Yeah. No, dude, I saw the funniest video last week about it. There was a guy, or there was two guys in a car. One was recording, one was in, driving. And they were like, I saw a clown. I swear to God, I saw a clown. And they drive up on it, and of course he's standing there with like a machete and a whole clown outfit. And he starts running towards the car. And this guy pulls out a gun, and he's like, step the fuck back. Step the fuck back right now. And literally the guy in the clown suit ran off so fast and out of his shoes. And of course, the guy was like, motherfucker better step up, yada yada yada. I was like, oh my God, that's the funniest fucking video I've seen about it. And I think the one too where they beat the shit out of the guy, like they literally like a whole group of guys chase after this guy in the clown mask and just beat the shit out of him. I'm just like, see, it's just a normal ass person, and like if I felt threatened, yes, I'm going to either defend myself or you're back the fuck up. Like,
No, what was funny is I don't know where it came from, but I know I saw it on Tumblr. There's a picture of some guy dressed up as Batman chasing the clown.
Yeah, he's doing that in, I think it's like North Carolina, South Carolina.
I don't know. It was just funny as hell because
Yeah.
it's just like Batman. It's not just the Joker anymore.
Hold on, let me see if I can find out where he's from. Cumbria area. I don't know where the fuck that is. Oh, it's in London. It's doing it in London.
Oh well.
Fuck, that was loud. Sorry.
On hop the pond.
Yeah, really. Come over here, shit, dude. I don't know. That whole clown thing's really fucking stupid. I've read some articles too where certain areas are banning people from dressing up as clowns.
Makes sense.
Totally. Well, like I said, if a motherfucker wants to come up on me as a clown, pull my knife out on your ass. That ain't gonna happen, motherfucker. You will be stabbed repeatedly. I have a phobia of clowns anyway, so. No, I didn't really have much for this one.
No.
Nah.
We don't even have a Florida man. How sad is that?
I know. No, the clowns were our Florida man.
Oh, well.
That totally counts. I count that. That is our Florida man article. Da 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 da.
I actually went on to the Creepypasta Wikia and decided to search for Florida.
Mm-hmm.
40 results, which is the word Florida in it.
Send me that link.
Sending it now.
Yeah. I'm curious on what they know about Florida. Ooh, if they have Alligator Man, I'll be happy.
I don't know. I want to read see if I can find a short one so we can read.
Yeah, that'd be cool. At least to
Yeah,
make
about
this podcast a little longer.
No, this one's a little long. This one's long. Gosh dang it.
Ooh, sorry.
Oh, well, this one's interesting. It's long, but it starts off with, I am a monster, but not the kind that lives under your bed or the deformed being on the big screen that eats human hearts. No, I'm something worse. In the state of Florida, I am a registered sex offender. And the truth is, I love children, particularly young boys around the ages of 13 and 14. Yeah, this takes place in Florida and it's about a sex offender.
Oh, that's just scary in itself. Ugh.
Enough said. But this one is rather long.
I think they're all pretty long. Good grief.
Yeah. Oh well. So much for that idea.
Oh, you know what we should do? I
Yeah.
just thought about it. We should have discussed it earlier. Our own experiences.
Oh.
Didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Mind blown.
Well, I really only have like one experience. And
I have 4, so.
do you want to say that for another episode?
Disclaimer. Don't fuck with a Ouija board.
End of story. Okay.
Well, since mine is rather short and it's only one, mine happened in St. Augustine. I was doing a ghost tour with my family, and we were standing outside the Catholic cemetery because apparently there's two cemeteries in St. Augustine, the Catholic one and the Protestant one.
Can't put them
I
together.
No. And I didn't even know if we have a Jewish one. I have to actually look into that now.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. Well, I mean, considering how old the city is, I'm not surprised that they have separate cemeteries.
Yeah.
So I'm standing outside the Catholic cemetery and I'm looking in, trying to find one of the spirits that supposedly haunt the place. But I don't see anything. What I do see is my shadow on the concrete wall because we're standing in the parking lot and there's a street light behind me casting my shadow. And behind my shadow, I see what looks like the shadow of a kid getting picked up and being put onto his father's shoulders. And then after that, I feel a little tap on my back, well, my ass. I turn around. I see the kid on his father's shoulders, but he's too far away to have thrown anything to hit me where it did and how hard it did, because it was just a little, little touch. I turn back around. I see the same shadow again. I feel the same tap again, same spot, same, um, you know, hardness, or it was just a little. And I'm just like, nope, 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 nope. They turned back around, and this time the kid and the father have their backs towards me, and I'm like, okay, I'm out of here. I'm gone. I'm gonna leave you alone now.
Dunzo. Well, I can tell one experience. It wasn't in Florida, but I do have one in Florida. But the one that sticks out the most to me is actually in Pennsylvania. Now, where we lived was in Greencastle, in this little dinky little town, now on the outskirts of it, behind the food line distribution, behind a cow farm. The cow farm is in front of us, blah blah blah. And behind us was a very large yard, but in that yard was also a graveyard. And the graveyard was across the street from the church that sat there. Now, me and my husband decided to, finally walk down and look at these gravestones. These gravestones are like from 1890 to 20 something, and I was like, holy shit, these are old. I mean, one of them only said like a last name and then had the date of when they were born and when they died. That's literally it. And it was about like, from not even to my knee high. And it was kind of creepy, and we were like, okay, this is strange. And then of course they had newer ones and all that, but most of them were pretty old, like really really old. So it was around Thanksgiving, and my stepsister and my cousin were playing because they were around the same age, and I decided to keep an eye on them, blah blah blah. Well, they decided to run down. Now, mind you, this is a 5-bedroom house. It's like an old Victorian house that we rented out. And it was pretty big. It had a really big attic and a really big basement and everything. And I never went down to the basement. Only one time when we first moved in there. And I said, never again am I going in here. It's not going to happen. Well, of course, they ran down to the basement, and me being the oldest one watching them, I had to go down there with them, and I said, guys, you need to get out of here. You're not playing around. Of course, my stepsister at the time, because me and my mother are quote-unquote sensitive, more my mother than me, my mom would tell me that there's something in this house all the time. Like, there's something in this house. I don't know what it is, but there's something in the house. And of course, my stepsister was all over that. So like, she was like, really into ghost hunters, and da da da. And she was like, maybe we can find some ghosts around here. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then back to trying to get them out of the basement. I'm like, guys, you need to get out of the basement. You need to get out of the basement. We can't be down here. All the family's upstairs. Yada, yada, yada. So we stood down there for a while because, of course my stepsister was like, maybe we can find ghosts, etc., etc. And we stood down there, and she had her phone out recording shit. And in the basement, there was the basement, and then there was 2 doors. One of the doors led to a very small, like, storage area, and it was all concrete. The other door led to where, like, the water heater and shit was, but it was all dirt. And that room was dark. Like, there was no light in it whatsoever. So my stepsister decides to open the door with the dirt floor and tries to look in, and they're walking in. I'm like, guys, you need to get out of there. You need to stop. You need to go back upstairs. And I walk in there with them, trying to get them out. Well, my stepsister, thinking she would be funny. Now, my cousin's, like, trying to listen to me, but she's also, like, trying to have fun, too. So my cousin follows her, but looks at me and is like, okay, we'll go back upstairs. Come on, Chrissy, let's go. That's my stepsister's name. And Chrissy decides to lock me in that room with the dirt floor. And it's fucking dark, and I'm banging on the door like, get me out of here, you little, yada, yada, yada. And there's a lock on the outside. So she locked me in. Now, my grandmother had the key. And of course, I didn't bring my phone with me, yada, 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 banging on the door, and I heard them run off and back upstairs. I was like, oh my god, great. Well, I decided to turn around And of course, it's fucking pitch black. I can't see shit. But there's something in the corner of the room. It was a very tall man, very bulky, and he had like, those old, like, I would say around 1800 type of clothing. Like, it was very ratty, like he'd been working in the fields and stuff. But the only thing I could not see was from his chest up, like it was blacked out. But the rest of him I could see, and he was just standing there. Freaked me the fuck out. I was banging on the door, banging and banging and banging. Finally, my grandmother comes to get me because she's the one with the key to that door. And I run out so fast and stayed upstairs, stayed in my room the whole time for Thanksgiving. It was ruined for me. And I will never get that image out of my head though. Like, the guy he was very tall and muscular, and like I said, I couldn't see from his chest up though. Like, I couldn't see his face. I could see the rest of him clear as day. Like, he didn't have shoes on. It looked like he'd been working in the field all day. Like, he was dirty and everything else. And it was creeps me out every time I talk about it. Like, every time. And I told my mom about it later, and she goes, "Yeah, we're not ever going down to the basement ever again." But a little short snippet, in that house too, in the attic, we would always hear two children playing, and it would wake me up at night. So yeah, that's my story. Like I said, it doesn't take place in Florida, but still creepy.
Yeah.
Reading something?
Yeah, I found a short creepypasta.
Oh. Wanna read it?
Sure.
Okay.
There's a certain road near the Everglades in Florida, which, if you drive down it alone in the rain, day or night, you will suddenly have a very real feeling of being completely lost. Your radio will turn to static, your CDs will skip, and your tapes will play slower than normal. If you try to find a map in your car, it will have mysteriously vanished. If you continue to forward down the road for more than a minute, you will find that you can't turn around, and everything behind you is pitch dark. There are no other roads and no other cars. Continuing down the road, you will come upon a fork with no signpost. In the middle of the fork, there will be a man, covered head to foot in various pieces of clothing. The only skin visible will be around his eyes, which will be bright green. You must get out of your cars, but do not turn it off or close the door after you. You must you must approach the man, but stop at least 3 feet away. You must stand there silently, waiting for him to speak then. If you break the silence first, you will find yourself back on the main road, but you will die within 24 hours. If he speaks first, he will ask you what you require. Tell him that you need to know which road will take you to your destination. He will then ask you what you will offer him in exchange for his assistance. If you offer him a ride, he and your car will disappear, and you will become the new guardian of the crossroads. If you offer him an umbrella, he will take it and stab you through the chest. If you offer him your love, he will take your heart, still beating, from your chest and eat it, condemning you to walk the earth without a heart, insane from the pain and loss. You must offer him your loyalty and kneel before him. If you do this, he will close his eyes and bow in return, extending a hand to whichever path will lead you back to safety. If you try to run from him, you will be dead before you reach the car, and your body will be found back in your car in some random location. It is called The Man at the Crossroads.
Guess who's never going to the Everglades? This girl. This chick.
Actually, you can't really drive. The only problem is with that is most of the roads through the Everglades are nothing but a long straight road to begin with.
Yeah, true.
So while it's short, it really makes no sense because the only time you'll ever have a crossroads in the Everglades is if you're turning off to go to the visitor sections.
Gotcha. Alright.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I guess that's our episode.
Yep, that was our Halloween October podcast for this, of course, month, October. Anyway, so we will come back again
In November.
talk about Thanksgiving and all that good stuff, and see what other
Food.
see what other things we can come up with. Of course, fall in Florida, which doesn't exist.
What is it?
Yeah, what is that? So,
I mean, fall. Okay, the palm farms are falling. Is that fall?
yeah, does that count? Alright.
We'll get more into those jokes in November.
Yeah. So, stay salty.
We're peeling out. Later.